Coach, I want to thank you for taking the time to join us today. What made the position here at EKU so appealing for you?
Well, it's simple. I think, when you take back and you look at jobs and you kind of see what's there, what do they have that's already in place? And this has a lot of in place. They have a great facility, have a great campus to work with. So once I started doing some research, I found that this has a lot of history and tradition. 16 championships of the OVC, and which is the most in the OVC. The 43 players have gone to play professionally. The 11 Major League Baseball players, and we want to make sure that we get back to those days of having competitive teams year in and year out.
Coach, you've had some recruits to go on to play professional ball. I want you to talk about them and what is it that you look for when you're out there recruiting ball players?
Well, I think it's simple. I think you have to have, obviously you got to be able to play. I mean, when I first identify a player, you have to be able to have some skill set that can help the team. For me, I try to find guys that have a competitive nature about them. Anything you do in life, you're going to be competitive. It doesn't matter where you're at. You're going to work, you're playing a baseball game, you're in the classroom. But just looking for those things that I look for. Good player, good person, good student.
Eastern Kentucky has another new head coach in Dan McHale. But the head men's basketball coach had the opportunity to at least work out with his squad before he went on the recruiting trail. You have not had that luxury. Could you talk about that and how recruiting like that has been going for you?
Not having a lot of history with our current players at all, other than having to talk to them on the phone. Part of my recruiting has been calling their summer league coaches, getting a gauge of how they are, how they've been doing. We have a great group of guys coming back, fired up. They're fired up to come back and be a part of what we're doing. And one thing I can always say, change is good. All our players are doing great. I mean, we have 4 guys make all-star teams. I think the best recruiting that I did this year was bringing back Kyle Nolan. I think he, leading home run hitter in the country, to come back to EKU for his senior year, that's really special. That means the world to me. I know to his teammates, he's a great leader.
You're in the main seat now. You had the opportunity to hire your staff. What did you look for when you were hiring your coaches?
First you got to look at loyalty. I wanted to make sure guys were loyal to me, to the players, to the program. We've been able to hire 2 really good candidates. Adam Revelette, our pitching coach, played at Kentucky. He's from Lexington. He has really connections in the area, knows a lot of the high school coaches, and having not necessarily lived in Kentucky before, having somebody that's familiar with the area, the ins and outs, I thought was really a good asset to our program. And then Tyler Hansen as our recruiting coordinator. He's been the recruiting coordinator for the last 4 years. He, at North Carolina Central, done a great job, knows the Southeast, knows the junior college landscape, has recruited the Midwest a lot, and he had a skill set as a former player of mine, kind of knew me, knows my system, knows my style. I think that's an important part, to have some familiar with the staff.
You are also on Team USA Baseball's coaching staff. Why don't you talk about that for a little bit? But that's exciting.
Having the opportunity to be a part of USA Baseball is an unbelievable honor and a privilege. And last August, I started with USA with some events. This past year, I was a part of to select players for the national team. But it's truly an honor. Sean Cole, the director, gave me an opportunity to be a part of USA Baseball, and it's something that, from a recruiting standpoint, it's great to have that. But also, I'd love to have our players at some point go on to play for the USA national team.
Coach, you're from Maine, Georgia. You've been around. How's your adjustment to Richmond been?
This is a similar town to what I grew up in, and for me, and it's been really special to get to know the community. And I haven't been out there, but just since I've been, they've embraced me, and I'm going to embrace Richmond. I'm going to embrace EKU. It's a beautiful area. You have a lot of great things to do. It's so close location to Cincinnati, Lexington, Louisville. You're close to Knoxville, and it's only 5 hours down from Atlanta, or up from Atlanta. I know that route pretty well.
Coach, I want to thank you for taking time and joining us today. I know you're a busy man.
Okay, thank you, and go Colonels.